Today on the podcast, we are talking all about Google My Business. Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
Dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hey there, my fabulous listener. Welcome to episode 85 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Thank you, as always, for lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices out there, and I sincerely appreciate you making me one of them. If you're a first-time listener, then hey, super welcome to you. I'm really happy to have you land here with me on the Small Business Made Simple podcast. If you are a regular listener, then I am even more super pleased to have you land here and come back and listen to another episode. I am, of course, the host Jen Donovan, and it's my job via this podcast, social media, and just about everywhere else that I hang out to make your business life simpler. I'm a thought leader when it comes to marketing here in Australia, and I'm also a marketing strategist for small businesses. Why? Well, because I know that business can be lonely, can be hard. Sometimes it's really complicated, and look, it's rarely easy. But you know what? It should be simple, or at least simpler. So that is my commitment to you on the so-named Small Business Made Simple podcast. One of the ways I can help make your life a little bit simpler is if you come and join me in the Like-Minded Business Owners group on Facebook. It's a really great place to hang out as a small business owner and really network with other amazing small business owners as well. You can, of course, just go to join by going to Facebook and searching Like-Minded Business Owners, or of course, go to the show notes here at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/85. This podcast is actually sponsored by my 30-day social media and marketing challenge. Now, we've already got one going, so this month is clearly closed, but we do have another one coming up. And if you are ready to up your marketing game and your social media, as well as have that daily accountability from a supportive community with lots of tips and tricks thrown in, then this could be the one thing that you are looking for. It's with me, of course, as a marketing and social media strategist, but also I've got Lindsay in there, who is a PR expert and also a storytelling expert. If you'd like to join the waitlist for the next round, then you can go to bit.ly/Jen's waitlist. So it's bit.ly/Jen's waitlist, and you can join waitlist there. I really hope that you can join us. I'm loving the group that we've got at the moment. So many amazing things are happening, and they're all feeling challenged, but definitely not overwhelmed. So I really hope that maybe you can come and invest in yourself and also be a little bit challenged. Of course, today on the podcast, we are talking Google My Business. I'm pretty sure by the end of this episode, I'm going to be sick of saying the word Google, but that's what we're here to talk about. I find myself talking about this constantly with clients, in forums, on webinars, and all of a sudden it struck me that I actually haven't talked about it here on the podcast with you. So today I'm changing that. Google My Business should definitely be playing a part in your marketing strategy. But let's start from the start. What is Google My Business? Well, I guess in its simplest form, it's a business listing with Google, but it has lots of other free tools and bells and whistles to really help you promote your business online. And it's a free business listing as well. So of all the goodness I'm about to tell you about, please keep in your head that this is for free. It's a really powerful listing, especially if you are in small business and a local small business as well. It not only allows you to have this free local listing for your business, but it can also act as your website if you haven't got a website already. or if you have, that's okay, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But it also allows you to manage, exactly how your business actually appears in Google searches and Google Maps. Google My Business offers small business owners the opportunity to really establish their business online easily, which of course I'm all about, making things simple. And in fact, you can really set it up in only just minutes. And if you're already online, that's okay as well. You can actually still have a Google My Business account. It's still really important, but it will complement your website that you already have by adding, more visibility. And of course, you can actually add your website to your business profile on Google My Business, which will, of course, help with traffic and, of course, being found. If you haven't already set it up and claimed your Google My Business profile, then I want you to finish listening to this podcast and then hot-foot it over to Google and sign up, especially if you are a local small business. To sign up, obviously, you just Google My Business and follow the prompts and sign up, and make sure you fill out all the information. Now, if you want your business to come up on Google Maps, then you will have to get that verified, to which Google will send you out a card in the mail. And when you get that card, it has a code on it. So you would go back to Google My Business, type in the code, and then of course you've got yourself verified on Google's Maps as well. So that bit will take a little bit longer, but generally this is a really quick process. And here's why. For me, I think that Google My Business is so important for you. As a business owner, we wear so many hats. I know I don't need to tell you this. We are business owners, we're employers, we're marketing and social media experts, we're accountants, we're gatekeepers, and the list just keeps going on and on. And not to mention, we are slightly time poor and sometimes live in a state of overwhelm, and we really just don't need another thing. And I also see that some business owners have really been sold this furphy about websites, like build it and they will come. I know myself, when I built my very first website, or really had it built for me all the way back, I guess my first website was probably 12 years ago. I really just didn't even think of the concept of once it was built, I had to get traffic to it. I'd invested all this money, all this time into my website, and then, of course, it was just going to sit there unless I put effort and energy into it, unless I went and found the traffic. I had this real illusion that magically I'd come up, and there's gazillions of websites out there. The magic isn't happening. And most find really quite quickly that this is exactly the case. They need to have these SEO strategies. And, the word SEO, or search engine optimization, makes probably 50% of the population shudder, and 40% think, oh my goodness, whatever are you talking about? And the other 10% it probably really excites. But this is what we need to think about. How do we get traffic to our website? And I'm not going to sit here and chat in your ears and pretend that I'm any SEO expert whatsoever. I'm probably far from it, but I really do have a real appreciation for its importance and the role that it plays in getting traffic to our websites. Of course, if you would like to know more about SEO, then I would really encourage you to go back and listen to episode 39 with the Beyonce of SEO, Miss Kate Toon, who is just an amazing SEO expert, but also an amazing lady as well. So that's episode 39 if you want to go back there and listen to a little bit more about being found on Google. But a tool like Google My Business, and a free tool, mind you, can really help with this, with being found, with coming up in searches. Especially if you treat Google My Business, as I advise all my clients and customers to treat it a little bit like you would social media. Thinking of it as like mini Google ads that your customers can see when your Google search comes up. Now, will posting to Google My Business consistently increase your rankings with Google? Well, that answer I'm not actually 100% sure of. But one thing I am 100% sure of is the more love you give to Google, the more love it will give you back. So in theory, if you post to Google My Business like you post to your social media platforms and give it love, in theory, it should indirectly increase the traffic to your website. And indirectly increase your presence on Google. So, in theory, post to Facebook, post to Google My Business, publish a blog, post to Google My Business, and so on and so forth. Give the love to get the love from Google. If you post photos to your Google My Business as well, just another little thing, make sure your photos are actually keyword rich. Make sure your photos tell a story in words of what's in the photo. Don't upload a photo to anywhere, website, social media, any of the platforms really, that says, image 97211A. Make sure that all your photos have some sort of description to them. But for Google My Business, for example, if you have a photo of a nice piece of jewelry that you sell, then the name of the photo might be something like 18 karat gold, 13 centimeters, women's Pandora bangle. So you can see how that's really keyword rich. If someone was typing in, 18 karat gold, women's Pandora bangle, then then there's a chance that you would actually come up for that, rather than if you just had gold bangle. You can see the difference. And even if you can't see the picture with a description like that, you actually have some idea of what you're looking for. And you might even take it to the next level and put the name of your business and maybe the location of the business in the photos as well. So like you might have Noonan's Showcase Jewelers Cobram or Noonan's Cobram. So if someone in Cobram is searching, women's Pandora bangle Cobram, then again, you've got that opportunity to come up in their searches. Now, according to Google, businesses with photos see 35% more clicks to their websites. This is through a Google search, and 42% higher requests for driving directions on Google Maps. We've all done it. We bring up a Google map and we ask for driving directions through that app. We don't go off the app and then ask for Google directions from some other platform. So you can see how, Google My Businesses that have photos attract the eye more, get more clicks to the website, and perhaps even a 42%, not perhaps even at all, the statistic is 42% will get 42% higher requests for driving directions on Google Maps as well. So make sure that also that your cover photo that comes up with Google My Business paints who you are and what you do. Remember, picture paints 1,000 words. So the first couple of pictures that actually come up on your Google My Business page, or my Google My Business listing, I should say, what are they? I know myself, I was working with a customer a couple of years ago now, and we were going through this process, and his name was the same as a famous artist. And so that whenever you Googled that person's name, the famous artist came up, and the pictures of the famous artist actually came up in his Google My Business searches as well, which of course, we had a bit of a strategy around that to change that by putting our own photos in there. So you've got to make sure that the photos that are coming up about you are actually your photos. And another really cool feature of Google My Business is, of course, Google reviews. Peer reviews of your business, and Google actually encourages you to ask people to write reviews as well. I know there's quite a few review platforms out there that don't like businesses encouraging consumers to write reviews. They actually want the consumers to come up with the idea themselves. But Google, it's different. It actually encourages you to ask your customers to write reviews. So you might be thinking, how do you get reviews, Jen? Well, the simplest way is to ask. In fact, 68% of people will give you a review if you ask at the right time and ask nicely. So when's the right time? I guess the right time is when someone says, oh my God, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Or I absolutely love the service you give me here. Or I'm always referring other people to come to your business, your shop, to eat here, whatever that looks like. That is the perfect opportunity to say, oh, look, I'd really love a Google review, but you've got to make it simple for them. You've got to give them a direct link to your Google My Business review page. Don't make it hard for them. If things are too hard, it'll become a one-day thing that they'll do. Make it easy. They might just do it a lot quicker. And of course, always respond to reviews, good, bad, or indifferent. Of course, bad ones, don't enter into banter with them, but definitely acknowledge the person. Sometimes I talk to, I often talk to my customers, my clients, and even my friends and my family, how there's a difference between apologizing and apologizing. So there's a very big difference with saying, I'm sorry you feel that way, and I'm sorry, as in it was my fault that happened. Most often, people just want to hear the word sorry. And you can certainly, frame it in, I'm really sorry that this has happened to you. You're not taking blame for it. You're just actually acknowledging their feelings for it. So if you get a bad review, maybe just acknowledging the fact that they feel that way or they feel wronged could actually turn it into a bit of a positive, or at least not a really bad negative. And you know what? Most of us humans, or most of us consumers that read bad reviews mixed in with like 100 other good reviews, will actually think to themselves, someone was clearly having a bad day. It's not necessarily going to be a bad reflection on your business, unless, of course, you get heaps of them, but you wouldn't get heaps of them. So, in summary, let's have a look of why I think you need a Google My Business account. Firstly, to be discoverable. I didn't say that very well, did I? Firstly, to be discoverable, especially locally. The second thing is to keep your customers informed, like having your business on maps and phone numbers and email addresses and things like that. The third was to boost consumer confidence with reviews, because reviews build credibility and trust. And the fourth one, to stand out from a crowded marketplace. All this for free. Do I need to say any more? Google My Business is kind of like this little piece of untapped gold. And if you've already set one up, then I guess your task for listening to this is to post to it regularly like you would a social media platform, and also to go back and check all the details and make sure they're current and correct, especially business hours and contacts given COVID-19. I've noticed that there's quite a few businesses out there that haven't adjusted their business hours for the circumstances that they're in. And if you haven't already set your Google My Business, then today on episode 85, this is your nudge to go and do it. So a really short episode just talking about Google My Business. I think it's such an important platform for us to be embracing. Google is a beast, but this is a way of making it just a little bit simpler to be found, and also to realize the more love you give Google, the more love he might just actually give you back. That is all for episode 85, though. As I mentioned at the very beginning, it is sponsored by my 30-day social media and marketing challenge. If you're interested in being challenged and investing in a challenge, then you can go on the wait list at bit.ly/Jen's waitlist. So bit.ly/Jen's waitlist. And if you've got any queries or questions about Google My Business or want to have a bit more of a conversation, then head into the Like-Minded Business Owners group and ask your questions there. Or of course, you can send me a direct message or a DM to sound trendy on Instagram. I will of course be back next Thursday with another great episode to simplify your business life in 2020. If you're enjoying this podcast and you seem to have listened this far, so hopefully you are, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and maybe share this episode with another superstar business owner who's doing the daily grind and would really appreciate someone making their business life a little bit simpler, or maybe they need to set up their Google My Business as well. If you've got a free couple of seconds, I would love a rating and review of this show. I love making this free weekly content for you, but it does warm my heart when you take the time to leave a rating and a review. I will, of course, be back next Thursday for episode 86. But in the meantime, let's hang out and get social on social. You'll find me on Instagram at Small Business Made Simple, and on Facebook, of course, in my group, and my favorite platform, LinkedIn. But whatever you do, my small business peeps, remember, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
For the star that you are, no point in dreaming small.